special guest.
It's a very special guest, Mr. Doug Chappel.
Hey!
Welcome.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on.
I don't like it that you're cheapening my intro music with sound effects.
Alright, I'll take it off later. Fuck, jeez.
Nah, that's fine. Never had sound effects over my music before. I don't know how I feel about that.
I like that. Sounded pretty cool.
Cheers.
Like I was playing a game.
Yeah, it's from 007. Man.
It's
Back in the
nice.
day, It is.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That is from 64's GoldenEye 007.
Listen, no.
I know that because I used to kick my sister's ass on it all the time.
We went shooting last week. I told you, one day I'll give you a suppressor. You can shoot that fucker too. It's all good.
I don't want to do anything too illegal. It's fine. How you been, man?
Yeah, good. Yeah. A lot of sleep.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
So nothing's really changed. So it's life's pretty much the same.
Going to bed at a reasonable hour, not at 1 a.m. like most comics.
No, actually, I'll be honest. Probably, I probably average now 4 to 5 a.m. Yeah, so I do apologise. I forgot to. Can you hear that phone, or is it just the buzzing? Sorry, yeah, it's just.
No, I can't hear
Yeah,
anything.
no, I forgot to turn my phone off, and I was just buzzing in my pocket.
It's all good.
Or is it my phone? No, it's.
You're on the casting couch.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, no, but just because normally when I had gigs and stuff, I'd go to bed maybe 2 to 4, but now just it's getting later and later. So sometimes I'm up and the birds start chirping. I go, oh shit.
It makes two of us.
Yeah.
I was telling Jordy
Yeah,
today.
Mr. FIFA all night.
I was like, oh, it's not just FIFA. It's just like get into this fucking hole. You watch YouTube. I'm not a social guy. I don't like the fucking social media shit. I'll have a glance, but once I get a conspiracy theory thing going, I'm fucking, oh Jesus, I'm all over that.
I do that too. Yeah,
I'm awake now.
Yeah, I do that. I just watch crap and masturbate.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you got to do cardio somehow. Oh, no, you box, don't you?
Well, not at the moment. I'm not doing anything at the moment.
Oh no, shit! That is the epitome of a fucking contact sport. Isn't it? Can't do that. You're still wearing gloves though, I guess, but
yeah.
That's what you can do.
But I'm trying to exercise. I've been trying to exercise a little bit. Yeah, but it's hard, man, because you sort of I wake up and I'll try to do some sort of exercise, but when you sort of go to the gym, that sort of motivates you. You got other people there to sort of motivate you. When you're on your own, it's hard to sort of
not in my head like I know what you're talking about.
I tried the boxing. I fucking got myself a trainer, and I started gym up at the radio, and then got myself a trainer, and then got into the boxing, and I smoked like a chimney, and it was just like, fuck, mate. We were in the ring, and he's like, just keep going. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking have a heart attack. Where's that fucking machine? There it is. It's on the wall. Go grab it.
I want to see a boxing championship where it's all smokers.
No.
Who can go the long? It'd be like one round. Like, I'm not going to knock you out. Fuck it, you win. Like,
Mate, I have respect for people that can fucking train and like get into it, and it's fucking hard. Fair enough, punching a bag. Yeah, I'll go for hours, no problem. I'll keep punching fucking. But when I've got to fucking run around, we're going too far now. Don't move, and I'll hit you now.
I wanted to box, not do fucking marathons. Yeah.
I love the first Rocky when he fights it, like his first fights. They're all smoking and stuff. It's all smoke. And,
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, very good. I fucked up last night. I thought I'd treat myself to moving the TV from the lounge room to the bedroom. So now I can play COD and watch YouTube and shit in bed. Fucking bad.
No, don't do that.
Well, no, I did it. I'm too lazy to move it back. But the house is getting fucking cold. So I'm like, who needs a couch?
Yeah, but fucking, I did that. I had the TV in the bedroom, and then, man, I'd be up, and then fucking try to get up for the next day for work. Nah.
Well, no, that's the trick. You don't turn it on in the morning. It's for nighttime use.
No, at night, I'm saying. And then she's poking me, going, "Oh, you be doing something?" It's like, well, hold on, it's working, nearly finished. Fucking, I've got 5 more minutes, and then we'll get into what we're. And she's gone. All right, keep watching the fucking show.
Yeah. It's so easy just to find entertainment online, like conspiracy theories. Like, what's your favourite one at the moment? What have you been?
I'm watching a lot of stuff on Trump at the moment. It's there's some funny stuff.
I don't think he's a real person.
Stuff. I don't think he is.
No, I mean, obviously he's a human being, but
it's funny and scary at the same time. But it's there's some really some of the comedians like take him off. I'll tell you, that's what I watched last night. There's a guy, he's like an impersonator, and but he's doing Trump ringing Obama. You know, so yeah, if you get a chance, watch. I forget the guy's name, but I just found it like last night, and so it's a series of different calls where he's taken off both Obama and Trump. Calling each other and stuff. It's actually quite funny. So yeah, so I listened to that. Then I watched something else, and then I've even gone back where there's Will Ferrell takes off, which another friend of mine when I did his podcast, he said you got to check out Will Ferrell taking off George Bush.
Oh,
So then I get into like watching different comedians taking off different presidents, and then I'm lost.
You get in the rabbit hole and it's all over.
I love it.
Some funny stuff, but some funny stuff.
Some fucking weird shit as well. Like I remember watching something about someone quoted Trump when he said, "Oh, if I ran for president, that'd be the best advertising campaign."
Yeah,
for my business, whatever I do, or something like that. And then you look at some of the shit.
Info commercial.
Info commercial. That's the one. Yeah. And it's like, fuck. I wonder if that was actually it. It is scary. Like, if he gets voted in again, zero sympathy for America.
I said it to Matt before. If you guys get a chance, watch it on Netflix. The Family. It's a conspiracy theory. Well, it's not conspiracy. It's more like it's called The Family. So they like the Christians. And how they help the Trumps of the world and all that sort of shit. And it's a whole connected, it's all intertwined, and fucking one guy's got all the power and everybody sort of gets around him. And it's just, it's like fucking hell, mate. I got into that, was a couple of nights ago, and I was just like, fuck, I'm watching it going, jeez, is it like that?
What is real?
What is real?
But it's interesting. And also too, it's like what you said with Trump with the info commercial. That's what L. Ron Hubbard apparently said too, about the only way to make money is to set up a religion. So it's life imitating art sometimes. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it's nuts.
And I was also watching stuff on Flat Earth and stuff, and the guy, his name was Mike, I think. He was like a daredevil, but he was making his own rocket ships to fly it to prove, but he ended up dying.
Oh yeah, that guy. I heard about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know his name was Mike. I thought it'd be something a bit weirder than that.
Yeah. So he ended up like But then I heard that he didn't even believe in it. He's just saying that to get publicity for his rockets. I don't know. But yeah, you read one thing, but I like reading the comments.
Yeah.
I get into the comments on like YouTube where people argue with each other. You get some hilarious ones.
Because none of them are scientists. None of them.
Nobody's got credibility. It's just like, fuck it. I've watched it for the last hour. I know what I'm fucking talking about.
Pure entertainment. That's all it is. There's no fact checking or anything. But speaking of flat earthers, there's a series. I think it's like someone's put together like a compilation thing on YouTube where it's flat earthers trying to prove that the earth is flat. And one of them, there's two people, and they've got like this Mythbusters thing going on, and they've got these like these big wooden or like paper sort of board things, and they've got like holes in them, and they're the same size holes. So they spread them.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple kilometres apart or something. I was like, okay, so
laser through.
Yeah, so you'll see this light or whatever it is through, and then they don't see it. Like, why can't I see that? Because it's curved, motherfucker. That's why. But yeah, no, I love shit like that. Fucking brilliant. That and fail videos. I never fail a fail video to make.
Oh, they're awesome. I love that shit. That's
should just be Darwin videos.
I was actually watching one of those fail videos. Guys with chainsaws. Fucking loved it. Because you see these fuckers just cutting this tree down, and the guy's just like, oh fuck, I'm gonna play that. And you can just see the fucking whole tree bang. Or wife's like, oh Barry, you're doing right. It's not gonna fall on the house. And you see this massive fucking tree come on the house. Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I know what I'm watching till 5 o'clock.
Type in it's fail. I think it's called Fail Army or something, but it's guys showing off to girls.
Oh, that'd be great.
It's better than anything anyone's ever written on the stage or anything like that. It's fucking incredible. Like, this one dude who like nearly lost a finger because he's like showing, he's going, yeah, I can fucking cook, and like he's doing all these knife tricks and shit like that. And it just cuts. And and it just cuts like he's lost a finger or something. Like, trying to do somersaults at a creek. Like women find that attractive, and coming out not being able to walk and shit, like it's fucked. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, but I love all that. You know, but the reason I like it too, because some come with pretty good arguments.
Yeah.
You know, and the stuff that you can't actually prove on different things, so they'll actually come up with like some good arguments and stuff. But then when it's funny because if someone starts to prove them wrong for something, then you start reading the comments and they're like, you know, what do you know? You're like, well, no one really knows. It's but I listened to a scientist. You know, it's
best one I saw was something about the Hollywood. Sorry, not Hollywood. About the moon landings being faked in Hollywood. I honestly don't know where I'll stand on that. I have no fucking idea. Like, one reason is, like, the radio connection from the moon to Earth was just too good.
It's fake.
Whereas, like, you hear some guy calling up on radio, it's like, no, so you need to turn your radio down, then we can't hear you. It's like, the technology's way better now, but then one argument that someone has was, oh, well, you know, the Red Hot Chili Peppers are big, and they mentioned that people landing on the moon, the Hollywood base, and one of those songs. It's like, yeah, it's a fucking song. Like, if you listen to their other shit, none of it makes sense. Like, that was their argument. Like,
that's what I love. That's what I love.
Yeah,
like, you'll have things where you sit there and say, well, that's actually a good point. That's a good point. Then someone goes, no, you know why? Because you married a lizard. She's really a lizard. She's not a real woman.
Yeah.
You know, but you would know that because you're a sheep. You're like, how do you know she's a lizard, man? She's an alien.
So good. The people who like try and debunk stories of people getting fingered by UFOs and stuff. It's just like, why would you want to be famous for that? It's like, here I am. My name's Jordy. I'm trying to make a career in stand up. By the way, I got fingered by an alien when I was 13. That's how I'm gonna make it. Like, why would you put yourself in that fucking category? It's not your jokes. It's not your stand up. It's not that movie you were in or something. No, I'm the guy who got fingered by an alien. Yeah, like, have a listen. But like, I don't know why you'd make that up.
But like I said, moon landing's bullshit. I can tell you why.
I was never fingered by an alien.
Concrete fucking evidence. Why?
Why?
You got to jump on YouTube and watch this, but it's fucking hilarious. The Americans bought, like, I'm Montenegrin, former Yugoslavia. They bought the space fucking race thing, like the whole setup of how to make rockets and that from Yugoslavs. We've got no fucking idea about rockets. They actually bought all the plans from us because our president at the time was Tito. Tito made this bullshit deal with them, and they actually bought everything from us and said, "This shit doesn't work. What are you talking about?" No, it works. We were putting this shit together. It works. Don't know what you guys have done now, but yeah, how the fuck? That's true. Sorry.
Holy shit.
Google that shit. You'll be surprised. You know, and I reckon that's why they've gone fucking. The rocket's never going to go up. This shit's not going to happen. What do we do? We got Hollywood. We can sort this shit out.
Is that why they spent so much money on a fucking pen just to prove that they could do it?
Who?
The Americans, they spent like some $1 million amount on a pen that could write upside down. Then Russians went up with a pencil.
Watch this, you'll be blown away because the Russians had all their shit going. They've gone, where do we get our shit? And these guys, yeah, we're connected to the Communist Party. You know, we know people. We can get you some plans. Mate, they bought everything, and that's why we got screwed politically, and like the war and all that shit. America was going, nah, these guys fucked us. We've got to get them back now. You know,
fuck.
It actually all sort of. One rolls into the other.
Maybe that's
you know what I love about all the conspiracy theorists, but when you actually watch these docos and stuff like that, none of them, right? None that I've seen anyway, right? Come from like a science background. They're always like this guy's like in charge of like the flat Earth and stuff, and they go interview and they say, "What do you do?" He goes, "Well, I used to sell Tupperware." And,
I'm a barista.
but look, I know because unlike other people, I do my research.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, that's fine. That's, you know, I'm happy to listen to people, but I just want to see like sometimes when someone sits there and goes, "Look, this is what I believe," and the reason I believe it because I spent 20 years. Like you know, in like my profession, you know, I'm a physicist, you know, you know. And one of them, this is true. One of them actually lives like he's like 45, and he lives at home with like his parents, and
so he's not qualified.
He's got like a part-time job, and he's like the expert. You know, does these big like they have conventions. And he does talks and stuff. You know.
I deliver pizzas 2 days a week. Like, the Earth's flat. I can tell you because I can ride my bike everywhere.
So that's what I love the most. You know, I love the people. It's like I don't know if you've seen Tiger King.
Oh,
But I think
yeah.
the best thing about like all the conspiracy theory is the people. When you watch the different shows, is the people. And I like to keep an open mind on things, but I just love the people. I love the
You
people.
gotta have an open mind. What I find the best is the people who don't like the people who believe in the conspiracies. Like, why can't you think outside the box? Like, oh no, it's all bullshit. Why would you buy into that? Like, not everything's fake, blah blah. But yeah, but what if it wasn't? Like, what if they didn't go to the moon and they spent $3 million on a pen that didn't work? It was like, oh, you know, it didn't work. It was wasted money. Like, what if?
And with the moon too, they had a reason because they weren't a space race.
Yeah.
You know, and also too another thing without even going in, because apparently they've got reflectors. They can see they put reflectors on. I don't know, but another thing is too 1969.
Yeah.
Right now, our technology compared to then to now, you know, to all of a sudden to stop and not even get close back up there. Now I understand with money and stuff like that, but there are things to think of. They are, you know, in the realms of possibility, you know, rather than just totally dismiss stuff. It makes people.
Nah, absolutely. You gotta be like you say. If you're not open minded to this shit, I don't think you're ever gonna. You can't be. Every story's got a fucking one side to the other.
But the best conspiracy theories are the ones that they do have some things where you go, it could be.
Yeah, it could be.
You know, they're the best ones. But then there's some crazy ones where you're like, oh, come on, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, come on.
Yeah, some of them are just strange.
Yeah, but that's when you fuck up, and that's when you go fucking. Oh, it's not. Oh, fucking, let me just sip the next one. And you sit there. That's when you get in the rabbit hole. And you sit like, fuck, I should have just believed it, gone to sleep, or could have, you know, had a good night's sleep.
The technology's what's going against me on the moon landing thing. Because, like, being a mechanic, like, I know that fuel-injected cars, like everything that we drive today, didn't kick in until mid-70s. Or early 80s in most countries.
Yeah.
But then, the end of World War II, like, they were still flying around in propelled, you know, like, prop planes, but then, you know, the Germans were working on rockets and stuff, but they couldn't work it out. So they listened to Albert Einstein, even though he was a Jew, and then they took that away. It's like, no, it's a Jewish design, we can't use it. But then they end up secretly using it. So at the end of World War II, like, the Germans had these two, you know, like, turbined, you know, planes that we have today, and they only kicked in then, and they weren't reliable as fuck. Like, they were shit house. So I just don't know what happened between then and they're like, yeah, no, we can send something to the room, and then like the moon, and then like people always comment like, oh no, the computer on the spaceship wasn't any better than your iPhone. Kind of like, that just doesn't make fucking sense. Like, you're just sending something straight up. Yeah, it's gonna land. I don't know. I can't get my head around that one. I don't know. Maybe
but that's the best thing. That's what I like the most about things, because it does. You know. So they're the coolest when you actually get to. That sounds good. Yeah. And sometimes when they debunk stuff, I get a little bit annoyed because I'm like, oh man, you know what I mean? I like sort of like, you know. Now I know. Like I like that little bit of, you know.
Yeah, it was like when in the '80s when they were looking for Al Capone. Remember? And I can't remember what was his name. He had a moustache. He was like one of those Jerry Springer reporters. Can't fucking remember his name.
Rivero.
That's the one. Yeah. And they dug up this fucking car. The safe. They got in there. And we're all like, oh man, you know, it's like big news. Even in Australia, we're all like, oh, all right, it's fucking 8:30. This is gonna happen, and there's nothing in there. Yeah, it was just like, fuck, what the fuck, you know?
Just a few phone bills or something.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, there was nothing in there. It wasn't a fucking body.
I watched this doco on Hitler's
paintings.
No, not just his paintings, but yeah, because they had a lot of shit that they stole from France. But fuck, what was it? There's some lake.
Argentina.
I think it's an Argentinian lake. Yeah, he dumped all his gold in this lake.
Yeah. Okay.
But no one can find any.
Yeah, but they're not allowed to go in the lake. That's that. They made a law that you're not allowed to actually go exploring in that lake.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Yeah, have a look at that
My
bit.
bad.
There's got to be shit in there, definitely. And they won't allow anybody to go into that lake to actually...
But if you were going to dump something that you wanted people to find later, that you didn't want people to find later, you said, yeah, it's in that lake.
Yeah, true.
Why would you tell them where the fuck it was, and then get them to, you know, say you can't go in there?
I don't know, don't confuse me now, bro. We've got a guest.
I know you're not Nazi,
guest.
sorry.
The whole thing's been like...
We have to do another conspiracy podcast. My bad. bad. Sorry, I get too deep into this
Yeah,
shit.
but I love it too. I love it too. It's funny because I watched the thing where they're trying to find like the Loch Ness monster.
Oh, I love those
Right?
ones.
Yeah. And they had like an image under the water, looked like a fin and stuff. But I just love them to like one day sit there and go, look, we found it.
Yeah,
You know, how
yeah,
cool would it be? Like I know it's never going to happen.
Nah,
you know,
fuck.
it doesn't exist. But
We found a
you
skeleton.
know,
Is
but I
it
love
real?
it. But how cool would that be?
Yeah.
That'd be like it just blow my mind. I'd
Yeah.
love that. You know, so yeah, I'm
It's
like
so good.
like a kid still believing in fantasy. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Oh, it'd be so good.
I want it to be true. You know?
Yeah. If like fuck Bigfoot, it's just a giant ape. But no, like find us Nessie. Tell us what Nessie is. I think that'd be brilliant.
I want to go like Alaska or something and see like Santa Claus walking. Oh, fuck, it's true!
There it is.
It's true!
real.
It's real!
How do you do it, motherfucker? Yeah.
Where's my PlayStation?
Just tell you, if anyone, the people you wouldn't want to find Santa Claus would be the US because he'd end up in like Area 51 or something.
Yeah, probably.
They'd be questioning, how do you get around the world in 24 hours? How do you do it? What do you do? Yeah, that'd be fucked. Alright, so we do talk about comedy normally.
Yeah.
No, that's my bad. I derailed that one. Sorry.
No, so I got a habit of doing that for some reason. Every podcast I go on, I go over time. I talk about all weird
there's no
stuff.
time limit.
There's no time
Right.
limit. Yeah,
But that's the quickest we've mentioned Nazis, so that's pretty good.
and it wasn't me this time. But we're a winner.
I've explained I'm fascinated by what happened. Doesn't mean I'm a Nazi. I'm just curious because I can't get my head around
Yeah,
it.
right.
No, it's the same as the pyramids. You tell me a pyramid's the size of the Rialto Tower, I can't work that out. Like I need to go to the pyramids
I
and
can
see it.
fly to the fucking Egypt, have a look at the pyramids. They're that big, bro.
I don't like travelling that much. That's not the point. But like, it's just like, you know, someone says, you know, this happened, blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
It's like,
I had a theory once for the pyramids, right?
yeah.
Just because I went to a barbecue, a friend's barbecue. He said, "Oh, come around." He goes, "So, you know, there's plenty of alcohol and stuff like that." So
That's
I
where
said,
all
"Okay."
conspiracy theories start.
Yeah, it was a friend. It was a friend. That's what I agree, 100%. Right? Because this did stick in my head. Because then my friend was actually he was a friend of my cousin. Right? So
Yep.
come over. It's, you know, so and you know, bring some mates. So we said, anyone? He goes, yeah, bring. So we all get there. He's got all free alcohol.
Yeah.
So we're having like a few drinks. He's putting this barbecue, and he goes, "Oh, guys, we had all these sleepers, big sleepers." And he goes, "Oh, can we all just grab like all these sleepers, and I want them all from the front yard, all put out the back, and just stack them up."
Oh,
I go, "I come here for like a barbecue."
That's not cool.
And he goes, "Oh, but I'm putting the barbecue on. It's like a work barbecue." Right? So at the time, I said, "That's probably how they built the pyramids."
Yeah.
There's some sort of pharaoh sitting there having a
Some
cook up, going, "Hey guys, see that I put on all the food and wine and drinks. See those big rocks over there?
Just move over here.
Just stack them up into a big point over there. That'll be great." So,
Listen here, all you slaves. I know I own you and I don't feed you, but you look hungry. So if you move these boulders, I'll fucking put on a feast.
That's pretty good fucking effort. Never thought about that.
That's a good business model, isn't
That
it?
is
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Not the slaves bit. I don't condone that, but you know,
I do that to my mate. My mate's an electrician.
slavery.
And yes, from time to time. But every time he comes and does a job for me, or I need him to do a job, he'd be like, "Hey, what? Come around." And he comes around, have a smoke, coffee, a bit of a chat. By the way, you're here now. Do you think you can sort that up? But just fix that. That light's fucked. Can you fix that up for me?
Like, dude, my fucking first girlfriend, yeah, I met her when I was 15, first route, all that sort of shit, and you know, we were together for like 6 years or something. Can't do that when you're that age, but you change too much between 15 and 21, let's be honest. But every time I stopped going to her place, even though my mum was always at home.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather hang out with my mum at home and with my girlfriend because we didn't have to do anything. It was like, just go listen to music or something like that. Because whenever I went over to her place, even if her mum wasn't there, this is when we were 15, 16, she'd leave us chores.
Yeah.
oh, really?
Oh, it's the fucking worst. Like, I thought I was going over for dinner. Next, I'm happy to help cook dinner, like, 'cause I like cooking. But it was like, you know, the weeding needed to be done, the bins needed to be taken out. I had to do tiling on the roof once.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
I couldn't even drive a fucking car at that point. I don't know how to re-tile a place. Like, it was shit like that. It was ridiculous. Like, the pool needed to be cleaned out. The filter had to be the leaf trap, whatever the fuck you call it. I don't know the pool.
I was lucky. I lived in flats. So
Yeah.
all my girlfriends lived in flats. So everyone was renters. We didn't care. We just, you know.
You know what I mean? It was just shit like that. Like, I had to help one of her little brothers with fucking homework.
So you're stupid, man. Stupid. I'll call you stupid now. You know why?
was 16 and I wanted sex.
Doesn't matter. I would have
it.
banged the girl and banged the mum for making you do the chores. That's what I would have done.
No, I wouldn't have gone there. No.
Oh, well, jeez.
No, that vintage didn't age well. No.
Oh, okay.
No, it was.
No, you did.
It was
didn't you?
no, I didn't. No, I did not. No, she was a federal agent actually. She scared the fuck out of me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, she used to whip out her badge when we were in traffic to get through.
Really?
Yeah, it was fucking scary. Yeah, AFPD. Shout out Kathy.
Fucking hell, stop it.
Quickest way to get bugged.
Great.
No, yeah, it was fucking weird. Like, you go over, and Aussie parents, man, the worst. So I go over. Like, my mum never got us to do anything. It was like, you know, I cooked, you helped clean, vice versa, all that sort of shit. Like, that was it, and had our chores through the week. But, yeah, like, I'd be roofing, I'd be doing homework with the kids and shit. Like, that's what babysitters are for.
You got to tell Doug your story you did on the podcast, two podcasts ago. Blue hair. The Smurf. Oh, you gotta listen to this story. Fucking strap in. This is fucking awesome. I love this story.
You're a company.
Great story.
Alright.
And I want to get your take on it at the end of it.
Just FYI, this is something I'd never do at the lounge or something. This is a guerrilla style fucking room joke. So I went through a little phase on Tinder, and I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, so I was chatting to this girl for a couple of weeks, and timing was always off. Like, we never quite were free at the same time. Anyway, I was out of plans one night, and I shot her a message saying, "Hey, I'm free tonight. What's going on?" She goes, "Oh, I'm having a girlfriend of mine over for drinks, and she's bringing a new boyfriend. Kind of feel like the third wheel. Do you want to come over?" I was like, "Yeah, I got some shit to do. Then I'll come over." So I left mine, picked up a few cans on the way through, and it was like an hour's drive away to the foot of the Dandenongs, and I'll never go back there again. But I got there, and I said, I can't work out which house it is. And she goes, "It's the one with the Subaru, the door's open." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I walk in, and no one's there, no one greets me at the door. And I walk around the corner, behind the wall, and I'm in the lounge room, and there's the nicest rug I've ever seen, like posh as shit. And there's bottles, there's glasses, there's candles, there's soft music. I don't think I mentioned the music last time. There was soft music, that makes it worse. There's a dildo, and then I see this dude, and he was the most ripped dude I've ever seen, so I automatically felt like shit, because I've always had a dad bod, right? And he's lying down, and then one girl's riding him and one girl's sitting on his face. But they were the biggest women I've ever seen in my life. And like, not fat, like American fat, like they were massive, right?
Huge.
Smashing, but not in a good way. And the girl I'd been talking to had blue hair, so she's riding his face. And time stood still, and it's like one of those things when you're pissed, like 5 minutes is actually an hour and vice versa and all that sort of shit. So I'm just standing there like, the fuck? It was like an eclipse. And after a moment, she turns around and sees me and goes, "Oh, Jordy, come here." And I was like, "No." So I've turned around and walked to the door, and as my hand's on the doorknob, I look.
No, wait a minute. Well, you had drinks in your hand too.
Yeah, I had drinks in my hand because you know I'd never come empty-handed.
Yeah.
I didn't come at all that night. But anyway, so like I get to the front door. It's a good line. I'll keep that. So I get to the front door. My hand's on the doorknob. I look to my right, and up the hallway, there's 3 kids standing in the hallway. Yeah, that was my face.
You would leave at this point in time. Would you leave, Doug? Would
You'd
walk out.
It's funny because at the start of the story, I'm sitting there going, you know, you both look pretty like shocked, and then I'm like, I'm staying. You know, but that's just taking a turn.
I didn't know she was that big. Like, she was very good at photography. All the photos were quite old. But we'd been chatting for weeks, so like on paper everything was good. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have a good night with you. I'll come out. So all right, so Dougie's tapped out at this point. And
I would have gone.
Yeah, you were gone.
So just come back to but the kids can't see that room.
No, so
okay, yeah.
You're in the hallway.
But who's looking after the kids?
Exactly. So you're in the hallway. The party's happening around that corner, and there's like a wall where the front door's facing. So I'm now like, the party's over my left shoulder, kids are to my right. And then something came over me. I was like, nah, these kids don't deserve to see this. Whatever. I don't know how old they were. I judge kids by height. That's how tall they are is how old they are to me. So like one's up about here, so I'm going to say like 10. And I ended up ushering them up the hallway and was like...
Maybe they're just 3 little people that are joining into the party. They're like, hey guys, we just showed up. You know?
And the first time he did, they were up to here, I just went, whoa, I'm out.
Look, if I was going to hire a bunch of strippers to come do some shit at my house, they wouldn't be dressed like that in onesies. So, like, that's just sick. So, there's 3 of them here, so I'm, like, showing them, like, you know, there's... And some kid was called Titan. Like, they had names on the walls and shit. Like, there was a Maximus, a Titan, and a Sean or something like that. So I'm like, oh, who's who? Very careful not to touch them, obviously. So I was like, you know, get in, close the doors. And then I got to the front door and I thought, okay, if these kids are anything like me and my sister when we were like, you know, that tall, they're going to be up in 5 minutes. Like, what's going on? And I sat down at the front door and I kept an eye out that way, kept an eye out that way. I had 1 drink and I thought, if someone comes either way, I've got to call the cops or child services or something like that. And Benny's like, why the fuck did you stay? Because I'm a better person than you, Ed.
No, you don't. So you're watching the kids, but glancing. Oh, yeah, they're still fucking you.
No. I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him. No, I couldn't see him.
Yeah, I think you do have a responsibility to the kids. I do.
I'm a better person than you.
Because I think.
Yeah, but they're not my kids, bro. Fucking.
You know,
they weren't mine.
If there's like a dad or a mum like in another sections going, oh, we'll stay here, kids. Yeah, don't go in that room.
Yeah.
You know. You know, I don't know, mum, dad, whatever they're doing,
Send
you
them
stay
to a
over here.
movie, yeah, fine.
You know, then you're like, cool. But if they're just roaming free,
I don't know. I don't think they'd seen anything. I think they heard the front door.
But if they're roaming free, what's stopping them from?
Yeah, that's
what
what I mean.
Well, exactly.
And for young kids,
they obviously came out of their rooms because they heard the door.
So whose place was it?
Hers.
Okay, and that's her kids.
I didn't stop to ask, but I assume so. I didn't want it.
You didn't stop to ask me. You sat around fucking having a drink.
I had a drink. Hang on. I had a drink because if the kids came out, I could stop the kids. And then, you know, like... Because that would be life-changing seeing your mum...
I'd probably say something to the mum and go, man, what are you doing? Like, I don't want to interrupt. Sorry, guys. And I'm the last to interrupt.
Time out.
If there's no kids, I'll pull up a chair and just sit there and go, no, carry on, guys.
I'll join.
I'm fine.
It could have been worse. I could have sat on a chair and just watched it. I didn't do that.
But that's probably the only time I'd want to interrupt that sort of. I'd go, look, sorry guys, but hey, someone's got to do something. You know, I don't want to be the bad guy here.
Look, I went the non-intrusive route of it, and you know, I sat there for maybe 15-20 minutes, and no one came from either direction, so I just left. I got Hungry Jack's on the way home and I cried.
It was pretty freaky, man. I wasn't expecting that.
It's deleted Tinder.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story about what happened to me once. Nothing
Please
like
do,
that.
so I feel better about
Nothing like that. Nothing like that. But I was working at a theatre restaurant, and we're doing this dance number, and so my dance partner, I was meeting her to go over some dance moves where I was supposed to swing around. It was like a rock and roll dance. So I had to learn this dance. So she gave me the address where I had to meet her at this dance like studio and stuff. So she goes, oh yeah, I know this guy, he's a good dance teacher, he'll teach us and stuff. It's right, great, because she was a dancer. And so it was on the corner of like a major freeway and like another road. Yep. So I get to the corner and I'm trying to find a park and there's cars going. I was running late, so I'm stressing out. I'm running late and stuff like that. So then I quickly go through like the lights and it was like amber or something, so I just get through. And I see a car. So I park there. And as I get out, there's like a group of people sort of sitting out the front, you know. Yeah. And I goes, oh, is this where the dancing is, you know? And the guy's going, what? You know, they go, I don't know, mate. Just see that guy there, you know. So there's an old guy standing like in front of, it's just like a normal house, and he's standing at the front. I go, mate, is this where the dancing is? He's going, what? I said, dancing. Is this where the dancing is? He goes, dancing. So yeah. He goes, I said, is this where it is? He goes, yeah. I said, you sure? He goes, yeah. I said, the dancing's here. Yeah. You know, I go, where? It doesn't look like a dancing place. He goes, yeah. Oh, come. So I go, okay. So he takes me in this house. I go in, it's like a normal house. And it's got like family pictures on the wall and stuff. I go, it doesn't look like a dancing place. I go, you sure? He goes, yeah, down, go down. Down the corridor, right? So I'm going, okay, so down this way, yeah. You know, he goes, in there, knock on the door. So I'm going, maybe they've got like a room at the back built to like a studio. Yeah. Right, this is no shit. open the door, right? There's this big guy, right, in front of a computer screen with porn on, right? And I don't know what he's doing, but his back's moving like this. He turns around. I'm like, is this like where the dancing is? He's going, what are you doing in my room? What are you doing in my room? And he's going, this is true. He's going, Dad. So this guy comes, the old guy at the front, he comes out, this guy's yelling at me, you know, he's going, what are you doing? I go, I'm looking for dancing. He goes, what are you talking about, Dad? I said, the dancing. He's going to his dad, he goes, what are you let this guy in for? He's going, Dan, you want Dan. I said, he goes, no, he goes, there's no dancing here, right? And I'm going, you just told me there's dancing, right? And the guy's just in his jocks, just falling in his jock, you know, so I don't know, you know. And he stands up, he's like yelling at me, he's got like half an erection. His dad's yelling at me now, trying to push me out. They think I'm driving. I'm going, I'm not trying to, do you know who the dancing is? Right? Weirdest thing ever. So then I leave. I go, I can't believe I did that. Then I see, no crap, I look across the road, then I see a studio, like a dance studio. And I go, oh, hang on, maybe why would I walk in this house?
Oh,
right? But all I can imagine, I told my partner that I was dancing with, all the story and stuff. But like, imagine just being the guy who thinks he's in his room on his own, he's got his favourite porn on, and some stranger just walks in. Hey, how you doing? What?
Say to your dad's partner, look, if you get bored of dancing tonight, there's a guy who's got a massive wang having a crack at the back across the road. Yeah. If you want some entertainment.
So I went back with some drinks and no.
Get to bed, yeah.
Oh, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, I guess.
But nothing like that. But yeah, just being in someone's room in their house, and you're like,
I never hear a story like that.
And you feel trapped as well. You're like, oh man, I'm trapped in here.
I did.
Oh yeah.
Not just trapped as the guy who was lying on the ground, but yeah, felt trapped. Yeah, it wasn't good.
I still can't believe you were there. I understand.
Clearly, I've got a conscience.
I understand you went there. I get it. Yeah, you're gonna go for pussy, but just hanging around, can't fathom.
Look, if kids weren't there, would have been gone.
Yeah,
but it was a. I have no parental instinct whatsoever.
Fuck, you did there.
Yeah, exactly. It took me by surprise. That's what I mean. Like, it took me by surprise. I was like, well, fuck, if these kids are anything like me and my sister when we were that age, we were up like 5 minutes after Mum put us to bed. No, we want to watch TV, blah, 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 all that sort of shit. I didn't want to ruin a kid's childhood, I guess. 3 of them, by 3, yeah.
Yeah,
that's alright. We've worked out I'm a better person than you tonight.
No, fuck off. A better person than me. Where you go? I haven't broken into some wog's house. I haven't fucking saw a Smurf fuck. I've never done shit like that.
You got to stop bringing that story up, man. Someday, some girl who's interested in him is going to listen to this and be like, who the fuck is that guy? Please don't. No.
Alright.
I'm going to stop bringing that.
Let's get on to comedy, yeah.
Unfortunately, there's more where that came from, but well, yeah.
So where did you start comedy, Doug? What year was it?
The SB I started, yeah. Never wanted to be a comedian.
No.
Didn't even think about it. Yeah. Oh, look, I thought I could be funny. I thought I could do it. You know, it's not that it's something that I sort of looked like fun I could do, but it's not what I sort of planned to do. Never planned to be a comedian. But I just went to the SB. They had open mic on SB on a Sunday. Yeah. And I was telling jokes in the car on the way up there, just joking around, telling true stories, just like that story, you know, like the things that happen to you, you tell like, and we get there and my friends go, you should do that, you know, and I had a couple of drinks, I go, yeah, I could do that. Yeah. They go, yeah, go on, do it. I go, easy, I'll do it, you know, better than these guys, you know, because it's safe, you can say whatever you want, you know, and they go, you wouldn't do it, I go, you know, I'll do it, you know. So I said, I want no chance of me getting on. So I said, yeah, well, look, well, who runs it? And they said, oh, the guy over there. Any chance of getting up, doing a bit, I don't know what you called it, getting up and doing a bit of funny stuff, you know. He goes, oh, you done any comedy before? I went, yeah. He goes, whereabouts? I went, Adelaide, you know. And he goes, where are you sitting? I said, over there. And he goes, oh, okay, well, if someone doesn't show up, we'll put you on. So I go, no, okay, so see, I told you I'm doing it. Yeah, but there's no room for me. Then he comes up, taps me on the shoulder, goes, you're first up.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck. And I used to wear a lot of gold jewellery back then,
Yeah.
and tracksuits. And went out the back, and they had like I've told the story heaps of times. And they had where they'd have little beers and stuff you could have little beers. So I went at the back and I go, "Can I buy a beer?" And the guy's gone, "You want to buy a beer?" And I go, "Yeah, can I buy a beer?" He goes, "You want to buy a beer?" I'm like, "Doesn't he want to serve me or something?" So I was getting like, I go, "What? Don't you want to serve me, or why don't you want to sell me a beer?" You know. He goes, "You on?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You don't have to buy a beer. It's free if you're on." I go, "Really?" I go, "Give me 6. You know? And he goes, "No, just take one and then come and get it." I go, "But just in case I'm terrible, people don't like me." You know, I got so that's my first gig.
How'd
and then
you go?
at the time I thought it was good.
Yeah.
You know, just because I was oblivious to how bad I was. But yeah, at the time I thought, because I got a couple of like laughs and stuff, it's probably out of pity, I don't know. But they had a guy called Lou Stom used to video all the gigs, and so I had a video, old VHS tape.
Oh wow.
Of it, yeah. And I watched it like 10 years ago or something, and people still had players.
Yeah.
And it was horrible, terrible. But at the time, and I couldn't believe that they give you free drinks to get up. So then I go, I want to find more of this. So this is great, And I loved it, and I've been doing it ever since. Yeah.
Oh, well, what happened? Okay, so you didn't want to be a comic, and you sort of kind of got pushed / fell into it. When did you have a gig where it was like, okay, I want to do this?
That one.
That one. That was it.
Mate, as soon as I got up on stage, it was like just injecting something in my arm.
Yeah.
I was addicted. I loved it. I didn't want to get off, and I just wanted to find more of it and do more of it. Even when I had bad gigs, it sucks having bad gigs, but I just loved it. I was addicted. That first gig, I was addicted. I just loved it so much. And it's funny because, I used to go to parties and I was a bit of an idiot. I'd sort of get up and, grab the mic off the DJ and I'm not even joking, and tell jokes and sing. I used to show up at people's party. It wouldn't even be my party. I'd go with have friends and we'd go, "Oh, there's a party." We'd go to the party. And we would just be sneaking in to get some drinks and that. Yeah. But I'd do a speech. I did. I asked my friends. I'd sit there and go, "Oh yeah, Tom, love you, Tom. Great." People like, "Who's this guy?" I just love talking on mics and I love doing stuff. So I'd be doing stuff like that all the time. Once I started comedy, I had no need for that anymore. This was just and I loved it. I get at parties and I can't sing, but I'd sing songs and if you ask my partner, she talks about her brother's wedding. I got up and they go, "Is that Doug singing?" She goes, "Doug doesn't sing." And she goes, "Oh, it is." I would sing. I was in Thailand with another mate, and there's a band singing and stuff. And I was drunk. I'm going, "Hey guys, I'm a big singer from Australia." I can't sing. I'm a big singer from Australia, famous over there. They go, "Really?" I go, "Yeah, give me that." So I just started singing the song, and they're going, "Straight's got terrible talent. This guy's terrible."
It's okay. I don't charge. This is my gift.
Yeah.
To you. Fucking hell.
Yeah. So so what I did, I just loved it. It was I realised, hey, this is what I like doing. Yeah, loved it.
That's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
What would be your highlight so far, gig wise?
I've got lots. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to think. I don't know. It's highlights to me are probably more sort of wouldn't be highlights to other people. So
Okay, like what?
probably one of the first highlights is doing a gig to the Western Bulldogs.
Yeah.
The first time I did it, because I've done about 3 or 4 from now, but my first gig, because growing up, sort of that sort of football team, and that would be really sort of, and all of a sudden have everybody there watching you and laughing and stuff, and that, cool. When you finish coming over saying, "Oh, good gig" and stuff, that was bizarre.
That's cool.
I did Marvel Stadium when it was what was it at the time? Telstra Dome, I think. Yeah. And there was 44,000 people. I did that twice. Before a game and at half time, I did little sets. So that was bizarre too, having all those sort of people watching and stuff. But there's been heaps. There's things I don't even remember. Doing the Chris Rock at the lounge and but there's heaps.
Yeah.
Awesome. You're right.
No, I was like, fucking, I'm like, that's awesome.
I thought your mic turned off.
No, full back.
but what happens, it's funny because things sort of change as time moves on. I remember when I first started, it was weird to be performing with different people you sort of saw on TV.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now you're like working with them and stuff. What's really weird now, because I've been doing comedy so long, like different people like I'm good friends with that I used to watch on TV. Now there's people that I used to give gigs to, and you know, they used to do free gigs for me.
Yeah.
And then you see them now, they're on buses and trams, and I've been driving around going, used to give them gigs and can't even lend $20 off them now. So, hey guys, just, let us $20. No, but but it's really cool too. It's good to sort of see people develop and grow, and
I understand what you mean when it's like, you watch these, but like when I was working for you, Cheeky Squire and Jim Owen was on, I was like, holy fuck, that's Jim Owen. Like, it's so...
Oh, you get starstruck. It's like you sort of grow up with that. And it's just like, fuck.
Like my dad got his DVDs for me when I was like 10 or something, and then fuck, Jim Owen's there, and like he signed a coaster for me. I gave it to Dad when he came up next, and he goes, "Oh, I should have kept that." I'm like, "No, I didn't gig with him." Yeah, but I'll keep the one I do a gig with him, and that'd be different. But yeah, I get what you mean. It's fucking weird.
I told my son this story not long ago, because me growing up, my first love was sort of for sports was boxing. So I love boxing, but then sort of second, I'd probably say like football and. Be like the Bulldogs. And when I was a kid, like Dougie Hawkins was like, he was on like the footy show, and a lot of people knew him and stuff. And I remember watching him play and stuff like that. And my name was Doug as well, so you're like, hey, that's cool. And I remember trying to get like a jumper signed by him, and he had a place in Altona Gate. Had a sports store, so I used to go there where I worked around the corner, so I used to go there sort of lunchtime just to sort of hope to see him and stuff, to see if he could sign a jumper for me, and I'd never get to see him. And then I went in there one day and I said, does he still like own it? And they said, yeah, but he doesnn't show up. He just, we'd see media every now and again, he pops in. And I said, I was like, if I buy a jumper then do you think you'd sign it? They go, yeah, he's a good guy, he'll do it. So I got one like that. So it took me all this trouble to get like a jumper by him. When I started comedy, probably about 3 years after that, I'm with Dougie. I used to do shows with Dougie, but I'm with Dougie sitting on like a balcony, like at a hotel, with just talking about stuff, overlooking like this river, having a drink. And in my head, I'm just going, this is so bizarre. Like, I'm hanging out with Dougie, mucking around. He's invited me to like the footy and stuff like that. And 3 years earlier, I was trying to like trying to meet him to. So that becomes bizarre. Yeah, that's cool. And different people that I looked up to, like Dougie, I've done like heaps of shows with, and know his wife and stuff like that. But that's all through sort of comedy that you get to know those things. And I like all that.
Has anybody disappointed you in that way? Like you've sort of gone,
like the don't meet your heroes sort of
thing?
Absolutely. Especially when I first started. When I first started, I was just a like kid from the West, and just like to have fun and joke around and stuff. So when I first started, there's a lot of other comedians from like the other side of town. So I was really happy to sort of meet them and stuff. But when I actually got to meet them, because I used to see them on TV and watch them on TV, some are actually quite sort of rude. You sort of like wouldn't even say, you'd say hello and stuff, and they just turn their heads, but even like say hello. So that sort of ruined the old don't meet your hero sort of thing. But I learned that pretty quick, that different people are different, and it's just the way they are. And then I probably bonded more with the ones that I got along with. And there's people that I didn't like, and then when you actually meet them, you go, man, they're great. I love it. I hated them on TV, but they're such great people. So now I sort of just I take people on face value and how we sort of get along and stuff, and I've got to learn how other people are too, because at first I used to think people were really rude and arrogant and stuff, and some are a little bit, but you get to understand why they're like that. So I don't really hate them, but I sort of sit there and go, well, it's sort of just them. They're sort of just, they're not sort of people, and
pressure can change people.
Yeah, and I get it too. People sort of talking to them all the time, that they get a bit like that. Everyone's different.
You better not get famous, Benny. You hate talking to people.
I'm awkward in situations.
Yeah.
Like like I said, Jordy, I'm the type of person where I just sort of, if I meet somebody and I feel something, like you feel an energy, and then I'll have a chat to them. Whereas if some people like, you know, I've had people on the podcast where I've just like I've never met you in my life. You know what I mean? And it's just like I'm at ease with you, if you know what I mean. Like I feel comfortable. Whereas some people I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just not feeling this in my way, and it's like, all right, we're going to talk to this person. How do we talk to this person? It's like, Jordy do all the talking, you know. I'm just not a person in that sense.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people go out to an open mic or whatever, and you sort of, how you going? And it's like, fuck, man, how much energy do you have? Fucking hell, you know. It's not that I don't want to talk to anybody or I'm being a prick. It's just like it's not my comfort, you know.
Yeah.
And but when I'm comfortable with somebody, you'll sit there and go, Benny, shut the fuck up, please. Give me 5 minutes. You know?
but I'm similar too. It's funny because I do talk a lot. I can't help it. But when I go on tour, if I get along with people, I don't shut up. I'm sure people get so sick of their gun. They just put their headphones on and start listening to their podcasts and stuff. But when I get someone that I don't get along with, or we've got our personalities clash, I don't talk. I'm very quiet, you know. And people, different sort of tour managers, sort of they sort of know that. They'll say to me, "They don't just get along." I said, "It's not that I don't get along. I just don't really. You don't gel when you talk, you know." So they said, "I can tell because you don't, you know, normally you don't shut up. You haven't said a word." You know,
you can't get along with everyone.
Yeah. And it's hard, especially if you're touring with people. Yeah. You get to know them more along on the tour. But when you especially when you first sort of go, if you sort of don't get along and you have different interests, it's hard to talk. Yeah. You know, if they're talking about you know, just things that you've got total no interest in, then you talk about stuff and you know that they've got no interest at all in it. It just becomes weird, you know. So then you just
better not to talk to people.
Yeah, that's what happens. You just put your headphones on and go. Okay.
What's your process on tour like when you're doing tours and that? Is there a process you do like to get yourself ready for it, or besides the writing part of it, obviously, but like.
Yeah, well, look, everyone's got their own little ways, you know. I don't really prepare much. I don't, you know, I can have a snooze before going on stage and then just jump on.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, I just, you know, I don't. Then there's some people be nervous. Some people need to do different things. It doesn't really bother me too much. But on tour, it has to be because sometimes you're away 6 weeks. You know, so mentally you have to prepare. And I've been more than one where people have actually halfway through tour, you know, a few times where there's other people on the tour you just can't. Yeah, just got to pull out for different reasons. Yeah, you know. Wow. And sometimes it's just, you know, sometimes there's a situation happens at the time that's, you know, pretty usually like a major situation, so they have to. And sometimes people just mentally, it gets tough because you know with that same group every day. If you do the outback tours, you're travelling. Oh man, you know, you're driving like 12 hours a day, setting up, doing the gig, waking up early. You know, sometimes doing the gig in the morning, then setting up, going again. Yeah. So, and you're with different personalities. So I think mentally you have to prepare, one, just to get along with everybody in that time. Because, mate, the first week everyone loves each other, you know. But then the second week it's like having a housemate. The second week the littlest things will annoy you, you know. Someone will be like doing this with their leg and you go, mate, can you stop moving your leg? You know, they're like, I just said, mate, just look, you know, the last 12 hours you've been moving off, just don't, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can't help it. You get like that. Yeah. So, so what I do is I like to, I have like, you know, I just go within me. Yeah. You know, there's a comedian, Ro Campbell. He said like, you're the Zen master. He said with me and stuff. He goes, because with these dually tours that we do, there's always arguments. And he goes, because he's done a few with me. He goes, I've never seen you like in an argument with anyone. You know, you must be like the Zen master. It's not that like a, you know, I don't meditate or anything. I said, but I do go in my little, and I try not to let things bother you. Yeah. Even though things do, you're like, you know, what's the big deal? I just put my headphones on and, you know, try to go in like my little world. You know, to sort of, I'll have my little space.
It's good little advice for anyone going on tour soon. Just mind your own fucking business.
You know, but I think that's the best way because and it's hard not to because you do all start talking and stuff like that. So I think it's important to sort of sit there and realise everyone's got their own idiosyncrasies and habits and things like that. Just to let people live and let live.
Yeah.
Do you ever get like talking about comedy, or is it more just like you've got your set, we're doing it from like region to region, town to town, or whatever it is? Do you sort of go, yeah, that's my set, I don't really want to talk about comedy? Do you sort of...
Oh, we talk about comedians. We bitch.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Mate, they should have like
fuck this guy, fuck that guy.
That's what. Well, we sort of do. Look, I think it's. I think we talk a lot about comedy. And because comedy's subjective and everyone's different, everyone has their own style and stuff. People will get on their high horse about whatever they like and stuff like that, and take sort of moral high grounds and stuff, and to me I sort of again I think that's important too, because some are really opinionated on one way and what the other, so that's what starts arguments sometimes. For me, I'm like, man, if it works for them, it works for them. I don't like people stealing material. So if we get on the discussion of that, it's hard for me to defend people. So I'll say, but apart from that, if people want to use a guitar, it's not my cup of tea using a guitar, but if someone wants to use a guitar, mate, if there's a market for them, people like it, I'm cool with that, so I try not to get too political into it, but we talk comedy a lot, and psychology, believe it or not, psychology a lot as well.
What made you come up with that joke? What happened? Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from? Yeah. Have you ever had to, pull someone up on joke stealing?
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
I had, I don't so much, I still do, yeah. I was going to say I don't anymore, but I still do. I can't help it. Only if it's mine.
Yeah.
And I'll tell people, because people come to me, I've had like people ring me, I'll still get probably at least half a dozen times a year. Yeah, where people sit there and say, how do I go about it? What do you think I should do? And stuff. And everyone's different. I don't want to, and it's hard because I'll only say when I know and I won't sort of accuse somebody. It's hard with joke stealing. It's hard because there's things where sometimes people say, oh, they stole my routine. Then I hear the routine, I go, mate, anyone could have thought of that. Yeah. So you don't know if they've stolen it. Maybe they have, but two people can think that. I do different routines where I know that. I remember when Virgin Airline came out, I used to do a routine on Virgin, but then all of a sudden, 20 other comics did one on Virgin because it's so easy. It's right there. So I knew. I stopped doing the routine because I'm sitting there going, well, so many people are doing it. If I was the only one still doing it, I'll keep doing it. But you just know that they weren't stealing off me. It's just an obvious thing. So you sort of know that. If you do something like a funny saying, you realise it's an obvious thing because other people have said it. Their parents probably said it to them, so it's an obvious thing. If I tell a story, that it's a true story for me, and I say it in a certain way, and someone takes that, I know that's mine. I know someone can't, the odds of someone coming up with, and I'll tell you, I did a routine about sleeping in a Brotherhood bin, right? And it originated from like a true story, and I changed it around. Then I went to a theatre restaurant when I was doing the theatre restaurant, and at the time they were playing it on the radio, that routine. And at the theatre restaurant I went to, the guy was doing it on stage, and he ran it and stuff, and the owner of my theatre restaurant took me there to meet him and stuff like that. And one of the first jokes he did was my joke, and I know it was my joke. It was on the radio, but not just that. He did it word for word, how I did it, how I created it, so I knew he just couldn't think of that, And so then I went and spoke to him, and I said, oh, look, it's my joke. And stuff. He goes, oh no, so I write all my own jokes and stuff like that, I said, well, where did that joke come from? He goes, I thought it, but how did you think of it? If it's your joke, where did it come from? Where was your inspiration for it? He goes, oh, there's a time when I had to sleep in a Brotherhood bin, And I go, your parents are both like lawyers and stuff. You come from a good background. When did that happen?
Yeah.
You know, and the guy that hired, like my boss and the other ones, got the foot up to like get angry, but I just couldn't help it. I didn't want to, you know, and so he goes, but this is how, it's funny because at first he said, don't say anything to him, don't say anything. So I said, I won't, you know. Then this is how I brought it up because he said, he goes, oh, do you want a drink, Doug? You know, I go, got lost property here? And he goes, why'd you lose something? I said, yeah, one of my jokes, and apparently someone said it's here. That's what he started like. Then I had to be honest and told him, you know. There's things like that I can't help, you know. And I've done, and again, I don't want to mention people's names, but I've done gigs with comics or even, and I know that they're with me, you know. Then I've been at a club where they didn't know I was on, you know. Sometimes I just pop in, and I've never seen them do the joke before. Then all of a sudden,
You see that?
they'll do it, and sometimes it's only a bit, and I'll sit there and go, hey, it's very similar to, you know. So you sort of know sometimes when people, you know. But yeah, it's not, But the thing is, you know, it's, look, most I believe most comics don't steal jokes. I think what happens is, you know, something happens like in the world, people sort of see stuff. Every comedian's writing on that. You know, like at the moment, ISO and COVID, there's a million, I'm not even writing jokes on that because I know there's going to be a million things on it. That's how people, you know, that's how you form your material. So I think most sort of don't, but I think every now and again, intentionally or unintentionally, I think sometimes, you know, people maybe hear you say it and not intend to do it, and they do it. But yeah, you know, you sort of know, I think anyway.
No, I agree with that.
Sorry to get all serious.
No. It's podcasts about comedy, like the ins and outs of it, the highs and lows and stuff. So like you run one of the nights at Comics Lounge, right?
Yeah.
So let's say there's a new guy coming in and he rips off I don't know, a Bill Burr bit or something like that. You know, you've seen this joke because you were watching him back in the day, blah blah blah. Like, how would you approach that situation? You go like, hey, might want to check that material, believe that.
100%.
Yeah.
And the thing is, normally someone has to tell me because I don't watch comedians.
I know you don't, but I was just like...
People all the time sit there and go, but people do. People sit there, because other comics will sit there and go, oh man, that's so-and-so's material. So I actually say to them, I go, look, I don't know, but apparently that joke you said about this, right, Bill Burr does a joke very similar, you know, so I just, you know, and I actually had, you know, I've known comics for many years where they've been notorious for taking stuff, and I've told them over and over again, you know, things like that, like, you know, I don't know, but apparently, and there's sometimes I have heard routines, and, you know, you'll see, like, you know, popular clips of someone doing something, and them do it nearly word for word. So I'd say to my man, you know, you want to, because people are saying it, you know, you don't want to, and it's funny because in the comedy industry, if people take a material and stuff like that, a lot of times people won't tell you stuff. People just won't book you. You know, so if I see a good act and I know that, you know, people are saying that about him, I say, you want to get rid of that because, you know, you got good stuff, you got, you know, and if you start doing that a little bit here, a little bit there, people won't book you. You know, and it's important.
Oh shit, yeah. I mean, I think it's important, like, definitely, like, give someone feedback. You know, got a good show, they got potential. So I'm not looking at you for any reason, Benny.
Oh no, I was just thinking about Matt before giving me advice.
Benny's a bit of a yeller.
Yeller.
He yells. He gets very in the moment.
I get emotional. Big guy that gets emotional. Keep your people away from me.
No, I was explaining to Benny one day. You know, you got to do it like a heavy metal singer. So if you talk normally, blah blah blah. Then if you have to yell, like bring the mic away. So, like it's just.
You know what I'm going to do now? You know, when I get upstairs.
Yeah, you're going to blow my fucking speakers in my room and you have to buy new ones.
No, I'm just going to go, how you going, crowd? What's going on? You there. Go hand them the mic. Just hold that thing. I'll do my set now. You ready? Let's get this shit happening.
Oh, I can't stand it when a comic doesn't use a mic. Fuck that. We paid all this money for a good sound system and put the light on the stage and you're not even on the stage.
Yeah, but I fucked up because Chris Franklin showed me the, you know, he goes, so I kept doing the walk thing, you know, the hands are fucking stories and shit. And he goes, you got to stop that, bro. You know, fucking hold the mic, put it next to your fucking chin, and then I started getting like shit scared trying to pull it away. It was like, no, it's there for comfort. It's there for comfort. And then I get really loud and expressive and shit, and it's like, all right, that's my next thing. I gotta.
It's funny. My first sort of few gigs, and I've never even seen sort of Chris Rock or anyone do this, but like I finished my gig, and I just like. I didn't like drop the mic like that. I just went like finished the gig and went hey, and threw the mic, right? And just because I had a good gig, I'm going hey, okay, thanks. Then I realised that the sound guy comes up and goes, mate, this is $1,500 mic. You just threw me $1,500 mic. I'm going, what happened? You know. And then the first time I was watching, like years later, I was watching Chris Rock do it, and the first thing I thought of, I'm going, mate, I can imagine the sound guy coming over and going, mate, what's your mic? What are you doing?
It's probably got a spare one in the back or something.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Yeah, sound. Yeah, don't do mic drops, people. They're mics are fucking expensive.
But that's why I always tell people with comedy, you just got to keep doing it. Material's important, but material comes. You know, the main thing is getting up, performing, because all those little things that counts.
Yeah.
You know, the more you do gigs, you'll start to hold the mic better. You'll start to realise where your voice is, how you are on stage, where you're comfortable on stage. When I first started doing comedy, I didn't know what a comedian was, you know, only from what I saw on, you know, TV.
Yeah.
So I really like deadpan. So when I got up on stage, that's what I thought I had to be like. So I tried to be deadpan.
Yeah.
You know, but it just wasn't me, naturally.
Yeah.
So the more gigs you do, you sort of break out of that deadpan, you start to become yourself more.
Yeah, find a rhythm.
Yeah. And then you start to realise about mics. You pick mics up, the lead will fall out. At first you'll freak out, but then after a while you're used to it. You pick it up, it'll happen.
Make a joke about
you know,
it.
you know, and so the more you do gigs, the more you feel comfortable. And I was telling someone not that long ago, I said your gig starts as soon as you walk out. You know, a lot of people forget that. Yeah. You know, I said because as soon as the audience is there and they're ready to judge you. Yeah. You know, for good or for bad. So as soon as you walk out, they're starting to make opinions. You know, on how you look and whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever sort of image you want to project on stage, you know, you have to start thinking about that as soon as you walk out. You know, because as soon as they see you, they're starting to make up their own mind and their own decision of how they think you're going to be. You know, already. So
presentation is very important.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. You know, and material comes. You know, but it's most of it. You know, you watch a new comic, you normally know they're new, not from the material. You normally know they're new just for how they talk and stand and how they deliver stuff. And they could have sometimes I hear someone with great material, you know, they just don't know how to deliver it yet.
Or if they say, usually I can tell if a comic's new if he says, oh, come on, that was funny, why aren't you laughing?
Or this.
That's usually...
Oh man, these lights are bright. These lights are bright, man.
Why aren't you laughing? Yeah, that's usually a dead giveaway. Like, oh, it's cringy, that shit. But, it's all part of the fun.
Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge and what's the biggest reward of running a room?
Biggest challenge is probably just getting acts all the time, you know, and keeping everybody happy. That's the hardest, keeping everybody happy, because you got to get acts that are good acts. You know, you want the audience to laugh, but then you got to get acts that people are happy with as well. You want the venue to be happy. So it's hard, and you can't always do it because you know you put on a good bill, and people still complain. So you try to do as much as you can for having good things, and you know, like you know, I try to put more female acts on, you know, but with the show I run, it's a pro show, you know, so I'll be constantly asking pro female comics if they can do it and stuff like that, and a lot of times because I'm not paying them, you know, it's a free gig. They come down, try out some new material, and they're busy, so they're like, yeah, look, you know, thanks Doug, but you know, I can't do it, and because there's so many men. You know, a lot of times I say, yeah, I'll come down and stuff like that. So, you know, a lot of the times, you know, there's strongly favours like men on the bill, even though I try.
Well,
but
you had me at pro. I was like, where's this gig?
Yeah, but and we get big names. You know, we get big names. You know, good acts and stuff like that. But it's hard to please everybody. Then you'll have you know. Then I'll have one night where it's like 50-50 and I'm wrapped. It's a good night, and then the next week, you know, it'll be like, you know, all males, and then I'll get all people complain. I'm like, oh man, I try, you know. And the thing is, it's and then it becomes unfair sometimes as well, because it's all pro acts, and people say, I'll have other female comics come up and say, well, why don't you put me on? And I put male acts on. If the male act was the same level, I wouldn't put her on. Sorry about that. Yeah, I wouldn't put like the same act. So, you know, sometimes I actually favour female acts just to have female acts on the bill, but they're not as strong as the male act. So sometimes you sort of do that, but I try not to. You know, all the female acts I try to put on are really good, but I have in the past put on female acts that probably would normally be on, just to try to keep the balance. You know, so, you know, in that sense,
there is nothing more annoying than getting a complaint that there weren't enough female acts on the bill. So I didn't fucking plan it. It's like, go through my messages, see how many I've asked. They weren't available for that particular date that you came in. Like, it's almost a go fuck yourself.
But people feel like, so, and people don't see how many people. That's the thing. People don't see how many people you contact behind the scenes, and it annoys me sometimes too, because they just assume that you haven't contacted any. You know,
got any ladies on, you don't want to talk to her. It's retarded.
Like, the more people you've got in your phone book, like, obviously mine's much smaller compared to yours, but like, the more people you've got in your phone book, the easier it is to make a gig happen. Yeah. But just because I've got, you know, these 6 women who do gigs regularly for me and they fucking kill it, doesn't mean they're available on that one particular night that you came in. Or the worst is when a female comic complains because there wasn't another girl with them, or there wasn't another 2 girls that fuck is. Well, you know, I can only ask so many times, when are you free for this date? When are you free for this date? It's up to them at the end of it. Yeah. Just focus on other things.
And that's the thing.
It shits me.
And that's what, that's what gets me too. And you know, I love female comics, and you know, I think in a few years they will be. You know, because there's so many more female. When I started, compared to when I started, there's so many more female comics now. I see some great female comics, and they will even up as time goes on. As you know, people move up and work for female comics becomes more scarce, and then we're more happy to do gigs for you for free. But you know, and then stuff like that will happen. But you do try. I do anyway, to try to have most diverse crowds.
What about, like you're saying, the free thing, as in? But if you pay them, would they do it then? Would they go, oh, you're paying me now? Yeah, I'll do it now.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think they got that attitude like, oh, pay me, I'll do it now. I think just because they're so busy. Okay. And it's even with like the male comics too. You know, it's, you know, the only reason I sort of, and sometimes I even have trouble finding male comics because again it's a free gig, and these are all pro acts. Yeah. So for them to sort of give their time to come down and do it for free, you know, so some nights it's hard, but you know, when there's things like you know, people are preparing for different shows and stuff like that, they'll come in, and because I've got an abundance of male comics, when I ring them sort of, you know, to need to fill spots and stuff, it's just you know, weight of numbers. It's easy to fill, but it's not because intentionally, you know. But you get that. But I get that with you know, lots of things. So you do try to please. That's the hardest part of trying to please everybody. And even when you do that, you'll have you know, because I've got female comics that regularly come on as well. They've been great. Every time I need them, they come on. They're great acts, and you know, really sort of support the room, which is great. But then I'll have audience members that will sit there and say, how come you have the same people on all the time as well? And you're like, man, I'm trying to, you know. So look, I know I'm going to get complaints. I know, you know, I can't please everybody. I just try to put the best show with the people available that I can, you know. That's all I can do. So, you know, but, you know, people are still going to get angry. You know, most rewarding part is probably seeing people first get their first spot, you know, because it is a night where we give sort of someone that's starting to do really well their sort of first spot.
Yeah.
So give them their first spot, have them see them do well, and continue to do well and develop into better comics. I love watching that. But that's why I actually like going to open mics. I love watching comics develop and become better, and you know that's what I love about comedy.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome.
No, it's good fun. Any ideas when Comics Lounge is coming back?
July, I think. Yeah.
July?
Yeah, July. Yeah.
Alright, be sure to check out the socials, people.
Yeah.
Are there any personal links you want to flog while you're here?
I don't know, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
His worst bomb.
Oh, yeah.
We've got to get your worst bomb.
Oh man, I got a million of them.
No, but look,
You want to hear that? Okay.
What's one that stands out as like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this anymore?
No,
What's the
you
worst
cried
one
yourself to sleep after it. Let's just put it that way.
I give you. I don't think I told this. I might have told this story. Just one of the podcasts I did a few weeks ago. They asked me like bad gigs and stuff. I've had people attack me on stage, throw stuff on stage. Yeah, I've done some pretty. I need the money. I do when I started comedy. I do any gig.
That wasn't at Werribee, was it?
No. But yeah, I used to do any gigs, you know. And but probably the worst one was one of my first corporate gigs, and it was one of my first corporate gigs. It was in Ballarat, and it was for the run sheet said it was for real estate agents. You know, I just had a real estate company and stuff, and I've gone, okay, and it was at the Royal Craig Hotel. And I just saw, like, hotel, and I'm thinking, oh, pub, real estate. Oh, I don't want to overdress, right? Well, I just know, you know, again, it's just ignorance, and you don't know any different. So I said, oh, it's in Ballarat, pub. I don't want to go overdressed. They'll think, like, you know, who's this guy? So I just wore jeans and a T-shirt. Should never have done it. I know it's crazy. And I show up, it's black tie, right? No. Yeah, it's in like the president's suite. It's all black tie. I show up, they didn't want to let me in, right? And it's for like this agency, first time I've done a gig for like this agency and stuff like that. And they didn't want to let me in. I finally talked them in to let me in. So I'm sitting at the table and they're all talking. What it was all the CEOs of this company, like of like different real estate firms. So they had this like general sort of meeting once a year for all the heads. So they all come from like all around Australia, sort of Oceania, like, you know, all different parts of, you know, around you know, sort of this part of the world. And so they're all talking at the table
in Ballarat.
In Ballarat, yeah, in Ballarat. That's so you can understand like my thinking at the start.
That's confusing.
Yeah.
Right.
So So I'm sitting there at the table, and one guy was talking about he just brought a new vineyard in Adelaide,
of course he
like
was.
in South Australia and stuff. So I'm trying to keep things light, you know. And I go, "You just brought a vineyard?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Mate," I said, "You know, I've got half a bottle of wine in me fridge. That's about as close as I've got to a vineyard." And he's gone, "Okay." And this is true. And I used to say, when I used to say the story, I used to say, this is the first time and only time I've ever seen this. But since a couple of years ago, it's happened again, right? The guy did a speech, right, and toasted the Queen, right? And that was the only time I've seen it until I did another gig and they toasted the Queen, and that was a terrible gig as well, for some reason. If someone toasts the Queen, get out. Don't do it. Right? But the guy got up and did it like a little speech, and then he's gone to Her Royal Highness the Queen, right? And I'm like
sort of Illuminati shit are you getting
I thought it was a joke. A joke, right? But then they've gone the Queen, and I went, my God, that's serious, right? Yeah. So then I get up on like the floor because there's no stage. So I start doing it, and you know, I was doing. I'm a little egotistical, but I think I was doing all right the first 2 minutes. Right, first 2 minutes I was doing all right. I was getting a couple of little Snickers, and but then all of a sudden all the waiters come out, right, with desserts, right. So they just all walk in front of me, past me, and puts these desserts down. People start eating the desserts. Now I would have just stopped and said, "Look, guys, I'll let you come back." But at the time, I'm like, "Oh, I've got to keep going." So then I said, "I'll start talking to them because they're looking at their food." I talk to them, they start looking at me. So I'm saying, "Hey, mate, what's your name?" You know. Not answering me. "Okay, buddy, what's your name?" And this is no word of a lie. The guy looks at me and's gone, I'm not the entertainment. You are. So entertain. And I went, okay. And there's a young, they're all over 65, and there's a younger table at the back. And at the time, they wanted to legalise euthanasia in Darwin, right? And I said, oh, so you hear about this, want to legalise euthanasia in Darwin? Yeah. No one answers, no one says anything, you know. I reckon they should do one better. Instead of legalising, they should make it compulsory to anyone over the age of 60. That way there'd only be about 4 people here, and I'd have me a good gig. I'd have a good gig.
Did you?
Yeah, and nothing. So it was horrible. Then I walked over to like the younger table. I said, maybe they'll like me, right? Because when I said that, like, 2 of them laughed. And so I walked over and go, oh, well, you guys are laughing, you know. So, you know, what's your name? So no one wants to talk to me. I go, come, guys, give me something. Who's got the worst job here? And they go, oh, him. I go, what do you do? He goes, oh, I'm an auctioneer. I go, an auctioneer? Okay, so, I don't know, do you do like that at home? Like, you know, someone comes over and you say, do you want a coffee? They go, yeah, do you want 1 sugar, 2, 2 sugars, 3. Sold them 3 sugars. He's gone, no, I don't do that, mate. I'm going, okay. I'm in Doug Chappel, thank you very much.
Fuck.
Yeah, and they didn't want to pay me. Yeah, the agent, this was like on a Friday night or something. Monday morning, right, my phone had, before 9 o'clock, had about 20 messages. Yeah, I got up at like 9 and it already had like, it was ringing. The agent just went off their head and said, you know, what did you do and stuff like that. They don't want to pay you. They don't want to pay you. And so I still did the job,
Rich
you know.
motherfuckers.
But what they said, and this taught me a lesson as well, because what I did was, because I was losing them, it was supposed to be a clean show, and I was going to do a clean show, but I said, oh, because I'm losing them, I said I might be able to get them back. So I started doing, I didn't swear, but I started to do more sort of sexual, you know, stuff, like try to punch bigger punches to try to shock them into sort of listening. And he goes, oh, you said you they'll trying to eat, and you're talking about you know, pregnancy and having births of babies and stuff, and which I used to do a routine on, you know. And I said, yeah, you know. And he said, well, you know, it was supposed to be sort of no sexual stuff, and I said, no, they're right. So I said, so they paid half. You know, I agreed to half because I did break the contract by not keeping it 100%. It was supposed to be like G-rated stuff. You know, and I pushed it to sort of MA, you know, at times. So that was fair enough. But it taught me a lesson. What I do now, if I'm having a bad gig and it's a corporate, and I'm not supposed to swear or do anything sexual, mate, I just stick to it. If they don't laugh, I still done my job. You know, and you deserve your money. You know,
So the corporate gigs are bloody hard. Like, they're really.
Well, look, I don't mind it now. I'm used to it now. So you know, now I sort of have fun. But when I first did them, they can be tough. You know, but money, that's where money is. So you want to be able to do.
Are they ever loose, like the
yeah. Like, you get some there's sometimes I'm like, oh, I got this corporate, I can't. Then you get there and you go, mate, what a great gig. You know, and corporates too. Like when I first started, the first sort of agencies I worked for, when you do corporates, it was like 40 minutes. You know, now when I do corporates, I normally recommend 15, 20. You know, and I explain to them why. I go, look, you know, if you watch a like a sitcom, you know, because our attention span's not that long. And I say, if you watch a sitcom, it goes for like 22 minutes without commercials. You've got different characters, you know, different story plots. You watching one person, you know, for 20 minutes is a long time, you know. So I normally say, look, you know, 20 minutes normally is a good sort of time frame, you know, because people got other things. They're not there for comedy, you know. So and they're normally pretty good. And you explain it like that.
Sounds horrible.
Yeah. Oh, I've done some horrible gigs, man. Horrible gigs. You know, I did a gig once. It's in a book, actually. Rusty Bertha from Scared with Little Guys. I think he wrote a book, and I did a gig for this crazy party and stuff, and there's another big, like, all these bikies wanted to kill me at the end of the gig, and I actually went back and actually barricaded the door and got a butter knife that was like for the little biscuits and that. I got a butter knife and broke it into like a point, and actually, because I thought they were coming to get me, and I sat there and I'm lying in bed with this thing up against the door waiting for these guys to come, because they knew where I stayed, you know. And then I'm looking and I'm going, oh, man, when you're starting to make prison shanks at the end of a gig, you know, it's time to get another agent, I reckon. So yeah, some crazy gigs, but I wouldn't change a thing.
It's made you who you are today.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a story anyway. It makes things fun. Yeah.
Have you got any socials you can plug before we wrap up? You want to plug?
Oh, Facebook, Twitter. Not Twitter. I've got Twitter, but I hardly use it. I don't know.
Who uses Twitter now?
Yeah, Insta, YouTube. I got some view. Yeah, let me know what you think of the videos on YouTube. And, yeah, going to do some more.
Yeah, it's just some Doug
Chappel. Yeah, or Doug Chappel Jr. It's one of them. I can't remember. Half and half. I don't know. Doug Chappel and Doug Chappel Jr.
Oh, I'm getting into I'm going to get into what is it? Like in the hole again tonight. Fucking all right, I've got to watch his videos.
Subscribe. I need more subscribers.
What does Dougie mean by this joke? What does he mean that we're doing?
I'm actually going to do a pilot. I was going to have it done this year, but I don't know what's going to happen now. But I'm going to do a pilot for a TV series that I've been writing, which is based on my life.
Yeah.
So a lot of stories
Can I
and
play
stuff
the
like
bikie?
that, you know. Absolutely.
Can I play a pistol? Me and Ben will play
You
pissed
know,
off bikers.
absolutely. You know.
He's from the West, mate. I'll be wog slapping him around.
I need a lot of cheap actors saying,
No worries, for free. We'll do it.
You know, I've got to raise all the money for it. So
I'm a method actor. I'll learn how to ride a bike.
no,
thank you very much for doing this for us.
sorry for how long did we talk?
No, perfect amount.
I always go over. So
when are you trying to do all this pilot stuff?
Well, I wanted to have it done by October, but because of this, I've got to, you know, so, but I'm slowly, I've been doing it for the last 3 years, but, you know, but it's just finding the right people and, you know, to film and stuff on a budget, it's not always easy, so, you know, but I've got a lot of good people that are keen and
well, we're here if you need anything, we're here to help, so.
Yeah.
A lot of my mates look like bikies if you need a crowd of them.
Alright, cool.
They're not, they're just metalheads. But,
Yeah.
Long hair and facial hair. Yeah, they'll do. Put them in leathers. They'll probably like it. See what happens.
You're telling us too much about your sex life, mate. I'm telling you now. Thank you very much, Doug.
No,
much
thanks, guys.
appreciated.
Thanks
Thank you very
having
much for coming in.